The 5 colors make a man blind. The 5 tones make a man deaf. Because if you can only see 5 colors, you're blind. And if you can only hear 5 tones in music, you're deaf. The world of color is infinite, as is the world of sound. And it is only through stopping, fixing conceptions on the world of color and sound that you really begin to hear it and see it.
So, guess a little progress so far. We've got the fenders cut through the hoops coming through the fenders exactly like I wanted to. If you've seen the YouTube short, and it's an amazing look. It's the right look. So that was incredibly time consuming. I did get the Sterling 10 1/4 in the rear. I was able to reuse these rear leaf springs. This was going to be a little tricky, and I'm just kind of using these 37s as rollers. There will be 40s on the truck, as you've seen in the other videos. But I was debating on whether I could use these springs. My first thought was these things were going to be way too stiff, seeing that many leaves. But for some reason, I don't feel like they're very stiff, and it could just be because they're aged. They're a little softer. They're 1 3/4 inch wide springs, which is kind of uncommon, but that's what these trucks had. I did go through the pleasure of disassembling both leaf spring packs, cleaning them, treating the rust that's inside them. Everything, I inspected them for cracks. Everything looks great on the springs. So put them back together, bolted them in, and then I ended up having to make some top plates. I wanted to do the U-bolts and see if I could just make some U-bolts, but I decided to go with the U-bolt eliminators, which I just made these top plates, and this will work great. I am going to swap the bolts out. These were just kind of for the mock-up. Still not quite long enough on the threads. I would prefer, according to Google AI, these grade 5 are more than strong enough to be used, but I think I'm the type of guy that prefers to overdo it a little, so I do want some fine thread grade 8 rather than use coarse thread grade 5. But the Sterling is in, and a couple other things that I still kind of have to do is get this whole cab needs to be a little bit lower so you can actually see the gap in here. I've got to bring this cab down another 1/2 inch, which is fine. I wasn't sure where I was setting it. I was just getting it on the truck, getting the thing together, and it just not cared too much as far as just get the parts on the truck, get everything aligned. Once I know that everything aligns and fits, then I can go back, start making a little small adjustments, like bringing the cab down, bringing the front core support down, and then from here, I guess get the cab down and start making the bed, because this is going to be another big thing where I've got to make this bed, and try to ignore the fancy bird sounds in the background, I suppose. I got to make the bed, make this, if I can get these kind of sliders but steps at the same time. So basically 3 big pieces I got to make: the bed, the steps for the truck, and then of course the rear fenders. And so that's going to be time consuming. Another time consuming piece, like if it seems like I'm not making that much progress, they had welded these overload brackets in here to the frame, which in here there's nothing. I don't even know how to explain it. That's about 6 hours on both sides of the frame. So it's coming together. It's looking cool to see it coming together. And I definitely got to get these dually adapters off of this thing. I'm waiting for the lug nuts to come in, and I might just go straight into doing the bed, fitting the bed, fitting the body panels. And then when I've got the whole front axle torn apart, I'll go ahead and eliminate those, take the dually adapters off, put the studs in. I still got to do the whole rebuild kit, the same thing for the kingpins, and then put the gears, and then, yeah, still a tremendous amount of work to do. It is good to see progress, but the reality is, and I know it is I don't even think I'm halfway there. You know, I still got to metal work both of the doors, get the doors fitted back to the truck, and then, yeah, I try not to think I try not to think of too much that I've got to do, and just focus on a little piece at a time. And so far, that's kept me motivated to keep moving on this, because it is moving. It is making progress. So make sure, like, I'm just putting the thing together for the mock-up. So if you're looking at this thinking, hey, this guy should be painting everything before he puts it together, that's going to happen. Everything's going to get assembled. Then we're going to disassemble. Then I'm going to paint. And then we're going to, you know, really get putting it together. So there's been a lot of, like, parts that just were crucial to, can this be done? One was picking up the truck and saying, okay, can I get this cab back into shape, knowing that it had been crushed by a tree, close enough to where it's savable and usable? And then the other one was like, okay, can I get the front axle with the hoops low enough to where this thing's not going to be so ridiculously lifted in height that it's still usable? So there's been several of those little points throughout the build so far, and so far it's going really well. So yeah, keep watching.